Dear friends, welcome back to another episode of The Informant. Today we're diving into the tense maneuvers of the Russian frigate Admiral Gorlov as it passed through the English Channel, conducting unannounced missile drills with hypersonic Zircon missiles along the British and French coasts. But before we get started, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. To fully grasp the implications of this operation, we must consider the strained relations between Russia and the West, exacerbated by the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Russia's recent show of strength comes at a time when both France and the United Kingdom have pledged support to Ukraine, reinforcing the deep divide between these power blocs. In recent months, leaders like UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron have reiterated Western support for Ukraine. This stance sends a clear message to Russia. The West is steadfast in its commitment to providing Ukraine with military, financial, and diplomatic support, regardless of how long this conflict endures. This is the culmination of years of escalating tensions. NATO's eastward expansion, Russia's annexation of Crimea, and various Western interventions in regions near Russia have created a hostile environment. These developments weave a complex web of strategic interests, where Russia is determined to reassert its position as a military and diplomatic power. For the Kremlin, Western support for Ukraine is more than military assistance. It's perceived as a direct threat to Russian interests. In Putin's view, the West is undermining Russia's security concerns and dangerously restricting its influence in the region through NATO. The Admiral Gorlov frigate stands as one of the most advanced vessels in Russia's northern fleet, equipped with cutting-edge naval warfare technologies. This ship symbolizes Russia's modernization efforts within its naval forces and is designed to be both agile and lethal, capable of operating in hostile environments and executing long-range strikes. Measuring 135 meters and displacing 5,400 tons when fully loaded, this vessel carries a crew of 200 and boasts an array of sophisticated systems including air and surface radars, sonar, and communications equipment, along with an essential electronic warfare suite for modern naval battles. As for weaponry, the frigate is armed with a 130mm naval cannon, point defenses, 32 anti-aircraft missile launchers, and 16 vertical launchers capable of deploying cruise and anti-ship missiles, including the formidable Zircon missile. With a range of around 900 kilometers and speeds surpassing Mach 5 times the speed of sound, the Zircon missile is a game-changer. Once launched, it reaches its target within minutes, making it incredibly difficult for conventional defense systems to intercept. What makes hypersonic missiles uniquely dangerous is their combination of speed and maneuverability. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, which follow a predictable trajectory, hypersonic missiles can adjust course mid-flight, making it nearly impossible to predict their point of impact. For the West, this capability poses a colossal challenge in terms of defense and countermeasures. The presence of Zircon missiles in the English Channel has a profound psychological impact on NATO and its members. This is a clear signal. Russia possesses and is willing to deploy military capabilities that can bypass Western defenses and strike strategic targets. The choice of the English Channel for these drills is not random. It's one of the world's most strategic navigation points close to both the UK and France. With this move, Russia is signaling its willingness to conduct maneuvers in areas of extreme sensitivity to the West. In response, it's likely that the UK and France will step up their military presence in the region, possibly deploying monitoring vessels and aircraft. Additional air and naval patrols could reinforce their stance, ensuring that Russia understands these waters are under constant surveillance. This event may even prompt NATO to rethink its defensive posture in key coastal areas. With the looming threat of hypersonic missiles, member nations will likely increase investments in advanced radar technology, interceptor missile systems, and perhaps even develop their own hypersonic capabilities as a form of deterrence. Beyond military responses, the West may also opt for a diplomatic approach, increasing pressure on Russia through additional sanctions, especially targeting its military and high-tech sectors. However, This carries the risk of economic escalation that could further isolate Russia and deepen the conflict. To understand Russia's strategy behind such a bold exercise in a critical area, it's crucial to consider its domestic and foreign policies. Putin's government aims to project strength at a time when the Russian economy faces severe sanctions and growing international scrutiny. Displaying military might serve as a statement of resilience and autonomy against the West. Historically, Russia has relied on deterrence to balance Western pressure. By showcasing its firepower, particularly through hypersonic missile use, the Kremlin hopes to draw a line that the West will hesitate to cross. Ultimately, this is a tactic to boost its bargaining power in future negotiations. If these displays of power persist, we could see a new arms race centered around hypersonic technology. This would not only increase defense budgets on all sides, but also make the world more unstable, as each military movement could be interpreted as a prelude to a real offensive. We must also consider China's role in this dynamic, as it holds a strategic alliance with Russia. Russia's presence in the English Channel might be a subtle message to the United States, indicating that Eastern alliances are strengthening and preparing to counter Western influence. As hypersonic power becomes a military reality, the world is entering a new era of global security. The English Channel was just one of the first public demonstrations of this kind of weaponry in the West, but it's likely that other nations will seek to develop and perfect their own hypersonic capabilities. This raises crucial questions. What should the West's next steps be? Should they increase diplomatic pressure on Russia? Or is the only viable path forward the creation of increasingly advanced offensive and defensive systems? If you value independent journalism and want to support our work, consider buying us a coffee using the QR code on your screen. Your contributions are vital to help us keep delivering in-depth analysis and high-quality insights. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to subscribe to The Informant for the latest news on the world's most urgent geopolitical issues.